Hey friend, Chris Vandeviver here from WhyLogicProRules.com, the website that helps you get the most you can out of Apple's Logic Pro 10. Now, in this final video of this three-part series on my journey of trying to find the best audio interface for Logic users, I want to show you one other specific thing about the Apogee element that I think is really going to knock your socks off, and that's the dual path effects. Let's take a step back here, because I think Apogee's been pretty loud and proud about this, but I don't think a lot of people have really internalized what this means. So we got to do some comparison here. If you're familiar with the universal audio interfaces, their bread and butter is the fact that you can run these really high quality plugins without any latency, but you're running the plugins off of the DSP on the actual hardware. So you have a UAD card or you have one of their audio interfaces. So you bring up like an LA2A emulation and it sounds amazing. And you're running that LA2A emulation in the console app, their separate software mixer, using the DSP on the hardware. So you can have, a buffer size of 1024, but you get to use these awesome plugins while you're recording and also while you mix. Now, the unfortunate part about the universal audio model is that you cannot separate these plugins from the universal audio hardware. The hardware is absolutely required to run the plugins. Okay, so now check it out. Apogee has started releasing their own line of plugins. There's only a couple right now, but they're starting to release more, and these plugins sound great. And you can use them in your mixes. You can open them up in Logic. Let's just do it right now. Go down here to Audio Units, Apogee, and I'm just running the Apogee on a demo trial basis right now because I made a promise to myself to not buy any plugins this year. Okay, so you can see there are 5 plugins to choose from, some Pultec emulations, an LA3A emulation, and also a compressor and EQ that kind of looks like the Fab Filter stuff. Okay, so let's bring up this LA3A. Cool, so we have that, and then we can add this Pultec, and I can make adjustments, but cool, let's just say that I made adjustments, sounds great, I love having this in my mix, and it's running off of our Mac, it's not running off of any hardware. But let's say we have a huge project and we want to start recording, and we want to use these plugins, we want to use them to monitor our vocal track through. But again, our project is big, it's got a lot going on, we can't set the buffer size any lower than 1024. Okay, no problem. So let's go down here to this option called Channel Link, and I'm going to select Analog 1, which is what my microphone right now is connected to. And now we have Channel Link enabled. So now these plugins are running off the DSP on the element itself. So if I record enable this track right now, I'm hearing myself through the system with the direct monitoring enabled. So we're not monitoring through Logic software monitoring. And we have these plugins in the mix here. So let's just dial up the peak reduction. You can see that I'm talking through it. Pretty cool. This EQ, dial it up. And if we go to the Apogee control app here, we can see that the effects rack is also enabled in the Apogee control app. It's enabled on the hardware. It's running off the DSP. It's giving us the full value of latency-free recording with processing. We don't have to leave Logic to do this. So we can have our cake and eat it too. We can have these great plugins at our disposal that run off the hardware when we need it to, which is usually when we're recording, but then can run off of our Mac when we don't need it to. When we're mixing and mastering, we can use these plugins and we're not tied to the hardware. It's pretty freaking awesome. I'm blown away. Again, I've made a promise to myself to not buy any plugins this year, so I'm going to try to wait to 2021, but I'm really excited about the new channel strip that they seem to be releasing alongside the Symphony desktop. I'm very excited about that because I think between that and a reverb, pretty much have all your bases covered when you're trying to record. So I hope this series has been helpful for you. I hope this has given you some ideas if you're looking for an audio interface. If you're not, perfect. Love your interface. Don't hate on it. Be happy with what you have. But if you're a Logic user who's looking to upgrade your audio interface, you're looking for maybe better preamps or output, you just want an interface that ties into Logic a bit better, a little tighter, I highly, highly, highly recommend checking out the Apogee line of audio interfaces. So give it a try. Most companies like Sweetwater offer a very gracious return window, but I don't think you're going to be let down on this one. I hope this series has been helpful for you. If it has, as always, I highly recommend subscribing to the YouTube channel, Why Logic Pro Rules, or subscribing on the website itself. whylogicprorules.com. Every week, I post new videos, new emails, new posts to help you get the most you can out of Apple's Logic Pro 10. Thanks so much.